The UFC Fight Night card March 1st at the UFC Apex was expected to be number 1 ranked flyweight Brandon Royval taking on number 6 ranked flyweight Manal Kopp, and unfortunately that will not be happening because Royval won't be fighting. Brandon Royval says, "Unfortunately, I'm going to have to pull out of my fight. I'm sorry to Manal Kopp and my fans. I'm facing an injury that has me questioning when I'll be able to train again. This is absolutely a fight I think needs to happen for the flyweight division, but as of right now, competing in a month has been ill-advised. Love y'all, and I apologize from the bottom of my heart." Manal Kopp, I just got word that Royval may be pulling out before he officially announced that he would be pulling out. 4 weeks for the fight to take place for the belt. The chills, the nausea, panic already starting to take effect on the body of the little puppy Brandon Royval. I won't be surprised if he runs away from this fight. You can always count on the Manal Kopp fight getting canceled. This one got canceled. In 2024, he had the Nicolau fight get canceled once, twice. The first one was his fault, though, because he missed weight. Then you had Kai France in 2023 cancellation, Figueiredo fight cancellation in 2023, Perez 2023 cancellation, Bontarine 2022 cancellation, Sumudarji cancellation. So 8 canceled fights in the past 3 years, under 3 years, actually. So that's 8 of 12 scheduled fights canceled for Manal Kopp. We all know if Royval ain't fighting, it must be a bad injury. Dude is a dog and has like 13 mouths to feed. I guess that's why they call him Raw Dog. It's fine. We all know how it would have ended. I guess he's implying that Kopp would have won. I don't know. Yeah, 50-45 Royval. Why are people acting like Kopp was going to win? Who knows? Royval would have won. Royval should be fighting for the title anyway. Sean Strickland went on a pretty big rant about Strickland-Chimaev at the UFC 312 Media Day. Hamzat's response just simply putting up a picture of Sean Strickland and laughing at him. They may be fighting next if Strickland does win, because Hamzat wants the next title shot. That would be an interesting lead-up to that fight. The fight itself, Hamzat will probably try and maul him in round 1 on the ground and get the tap out. Strickland will try and survive that first round and win a decision. Actually, there's more Hamzat has to say. "Why are you a baby crying all the time? Father didn't give you love, or he showed his love to you too much," implying that this is Sean Strickland's dad and lover. Hamzat also adds, "Why more losses than wins? Cannonier, Dricus, Santiago, Pereira, Zaleski dos Santos, and Usman. The two used to be cool and trained together for a little bit. Hamzat was able to tap him out a few times, so maybe he has that mental edge. Regardless, hopefully Hamzat gets the next title shot, whether it's versus Strickland or DDP.
I saw Sean was talking about a headbutt in the first fight and how it impacted the fight. What was your reaction when you saw him sort of saying that was one of the key things that sort of turned things around?"
Well, my reaction was, it only felt like a headbutt. My right hand is really, really hard. But it wasn't a headbutt. You know, it wasn't a headbutt. There's evidence all over. You can see the video footage. Everything is there where the eye is already bleeding before where he shows the headbutt. It was a right hand. I remember it in the fight, seeing it. I remember in the fight I was throwing the right hand and I could see the blood coming from his eye the first time. And I caught him on that exact same eye many times. You can watch that fight back. How many times I caught him on that exact eye. And the blood started pouring. You know, late in the fight, I mean, don't you wrestle with your head? The head was there. I mean, I saw what he showed, but he was already bleeding then. And that was definitely no headbutt. There was rubbing, our heads were rubbing against each other as you would when you wrestle. That's why we have cauliflower ears.
Ilia Topuria believes that Alexander Volkanovski deserves the next featherweight title shot, but he doesn't see the rematch going any different unless he decides for it to go different, which is a fair point. He will be a bigger favorite than he was in the first fight.
You're hurt, bro. You're hurt.
Diego Lopez training with Alex Pereira in Sydney, Australia. A really tatted up fight added to UFC London March 22nd. Jordan Vucenic versus Chris Duncan. Vucenic's coming off a loss to Guram Kutataladze, and Duncan's coming off a win over Bolaji Oki. Dana White says Turki Al Sheikh signed up for 5 more power slap events, 4 in Saudi Arabia and Riyadh, and 1 in the United States.
Hey, you ain't slapping me no more.
Matt Frivola on Kevin Lee almost getting KO'd in sparring. That's why knowing/choosing your sparring partners is important. Shake my head. Whose fault is it? Kevin's throwing some crazy flying knee out of nowhere. Not even close to connecting, but if it did, it KOs his partner. Is he the jerk? He threw it with speed, but not intent. Maybe that's something he likes to do, move guys back when they're on the warning track, but it doesn't even look like the knees go up, just practicing a move. That overhand right was heavy. UFC officially announces Bobby Green versus Mauricio Rufy at UFC 313, March 8th at the T-Mobile in Las Vegas. Lightweight contest there. A fun one, exciting striking matchup will end in a KO or fight of the night contender. The main event of UFC 313 is Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev. Pereira steps on the scale a month before the fight to check his weight. 235 for the champion of the light heavyweight division, Alex Poatan Pereira. Regarding Chandler and Arman possibly fighting in April, why the fuck would they make Chandler versus Arman in Miami? That would be number 1 against number 7 in the division. Chandler feeds the narrative by putting a palm tree, teasing that he'll be fighting in Florida, Miami, Florida, UFC 314, April 12th, possibly against Arman Tsarukyan. Again, Chandler keeps losing and slipping in the rankings, but he's getting top guys as opponents. So, I mean, that's good for him, assuming that this fight does happen. Wouldn't mind him fighting a guy lower in the rankings like Grant Dawson, giving guys like that an opportunity to break into the higher rankings. They tried it with Benoit Saint-Denis against Dustin Poirier. It failed, but I like the attempt to try and get new people at the top of the division. Otherwise, it's just a bunch of rematches. Tsarukyan might rematch Makhachev. Tsarukyan may rematch Oliveira. Oliveira may rematch Makhachev. Gaethje may rematch Poirier. Poirier may rematch Holloway. So the top 5 at 155 is rematch central. There's a fake report of Gamrot fighting Ortega, but Gamrot responds to it and says that's an easy fight for him. So it might be a decent fight to make. If Ortega does move up to 155, taking on Gamrot, maybe that'd be a good first fight for him there.
Yeah, I need to learn, do my best. Yeah.
And how long do you think before you don't need a translator?
Maybe next year.
And you've had Brad Riddell.
I fire you.
Sorry.
Go ahead, sir.
Hi. You said that we are preparing something special for Islam Makhachev. Is something special you mean in his weight class or other weight class?
You said you're preparing something special for Islam. Is it in his weight class or a different weight
As
class?
soon as we announce it, you'll know.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Okay.
Frankly, I find this very offensive. They're using some sort of dialect I've never heard before. But I'm pretty sure he said something about going on the offensive.
Sir, Harold and Kumar are good boys.
I'm a pretty good translator. It's total gibberish.